Hi, my name is Rance Rogers, and I'm speaking to you tonight from Denver, Colorado. And if you're brand new to the team, I want to welcome you. First of all, it's Monday, May 5th, 2014, and I want to welcome you to the U Inc. team live video training call. I know we've had a lot of new team members that have joined us literally from around the world over the past month, the past week, even over the past few days. And if you're new to the team, I wanted to say welcome. I had a couple of things that I want to be able to share with you tonight in regards to this call. But really, if you're brand new to the team, to let you know that first of all, we host this call every week, and the purpose of our call is to allow distributors around the world to get the training and the tips and some of the perspective that they are going to want and need to be able to run their businesses as they start out, with OrganiGold and with the U Inc. team organization. So welcome. It's good to have you here. I'm going to give you a couple of quick notes here, a couple of announcements, and then I'm going to spend some time talking about the training topic tonight that we'll get into in just a minute. But first of all, mark your calendars for this event. It, as I mentioned before, happens every week. And 5 o'clock Pacific Standard, 6 o'clock Mountain, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, and 9 o'clock p.m. Atlantic Standard is the time zones most of you fall in. But make sure you put this on for yourself and your team as a weekly event. It's going to be really important for you as you start your business and you continue to develop it. The second thing is take notes. I mean, one of the assignments that we share with everybody is that this information is not just for you, but for you to be able to share with others inside of your business, inside of your organization. So make sure you share the information and share tips. One of the things that we like you to do is to share a tip with your sponsor, a couple of tips with your sponsor, if there's something that you've heard tonight that really have helped you in terms of your business. A couple of quick announcements. If you're new, again, to the team, make sure you get connected. If you'll go to www.uincteam, that's youincteam.com, you can subscribe your email address, and that way we can keep you updated on all the latest events and information and all the things that are happening inside of OrganiGold, inside of U Inc. team. Get started right. If you're new to the business, make sure you get an opportunity with your upline Sapphire, your sponsor who's active in the business, to really help you to go down a path where you're doing more of the right things and avoiding more of the speed bumps and some of the landmines you can run into as you start this business, like you would any new business. And we've got a training on that on the U Inc. team website. You click on training and then get started, and there's an audio. Ivan Cisco is the person who has put that together, and it's wonderful. It gives you a good understanding of what you need to do as you start your business. But make sure you take advantage of that and do that, especially if you're a new distributor. Second thing is, if you're part of the Star Achievers Club, and if you've been around the business for a while, that's a designation that OG has created for people that are really starting to establish a solid business. But if you've qualified for that, which is 450 in personal qualifying volume, make sure you email your results and your accomplishments to ogStarAchiever@yahoo.com. Stephen Rhonda Martin, Grant Ferguson, they've put together some additional recognition and incentive for the people that get to this level inside of the company, and you want to make sure you get recognized for that. A few quick announcements before we get into the actual training. First of all, just in regards to events, and I'll start out with where I live in Denver, Colorado. If you're in the Colorado marketplace, or you've got anybody that's even close to Colorado, what we have are weekly events. Every week on Wednesday evening, starting at 7 p.m., we have a coffee and jazz mixer that we host at our office, and people come in about 6:30, 6:45, get a chance to sample some coffee, meet some people, and at 7 o'clock we have a coffee jazz mixer, and it's a great opportunity for you to be able to plug people in the Colorado market into. Every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. we have a training from 9 to 11, and that really gives people better understanding the foundation of their business, the 4 steps, the 4 questions, the tools that you have available for you to help you to build your OG business. We cover that every Saturday morning. And in addition to that, in Colorado, we also have the benefit of having diamond consultant Rod Smith, one of the gentlemen who brought the business to Colorado over 5 years ago, who on Tuesdays and Thursdays also has CJMs, and many times Sundays at his home. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we also have Blue Diamonds, the Nielsen family up in Loveland, Colorado, who also conduct CJMs and have lots of opportunities for you to be able to expose people. So if you're in the Colorado market, make sure that you take advantage of that. Lots and lots of resources to help you to grow. In Canada, I'm going to share with you a couple of the events that are coming up, and all of these, by the way, you can find under the events tab on the uincteam.com website. But I'm going to touch on just a few of these, more of the dates, the places, and the hosts. But on May 8th, we've got this week in Fredericton, host Ruby Wendell and Sharon Betts. They're going to be hosting at Kingswood, and Diamond Ivan Cisco is going to be speaking there. So just fantastic opportunity to be able to get up against people who really know what they're doing inside of the business. If you've got anybody in the Fredericton market, in Summerside, host Tina Monday. Tina, hi. I got a chance to meet Tina down in San Antonio, but she's going to be hosting an event with special guest speaker Mark McDonald, Ruby in the Business. And again, Mark, just an excellent person to hear from if you're looking to find out more about our coffee business. Quickly, on May 14th in Depi, hopefully I said that right, New Brunswick, we've got Johnny Matrakis, who's going to be speaking. And again, on May 17th in the Grand Falls Arena, Johnny is going to be speaking again. The host there is Christian Toner. So, again, Johnny, a great guy to be able to hear from. Wish I could be there. I'd love to be able to hear it myself. On May 17th in PEI, Kelly Trainer is going to be hosting, and Dave Collins is going to be speaking, 9:30 a.m. That's a morning event. So make sure that, if you've got anybody in PEI, get a chance to go out and hear Dave, another one of the real leaders inside of our business. May 22nd in Halifax, Nova Scotia, co-hosted by Tim Ketty and Debbie Faulkner, and Mark McDonald is going to be the speaker. And then on May 31st in Mississauga, Ontario, hopefully I said that right, there's going to be a Super Saturday, the Lakeshore Convention Center, and again, doors open at 8:30 a.m. So all of this information is going to be available for you on the UInc Team website, and I would tell you to get in there and plug in, make sure you get people to attend these events. It's one of the core pieces of how you'll build a business faster inside of OrganoGold. All right, so first of all, I'm going to talk to you tonight about a topic that I was excited to see this morning, and it was really about telling your story. And how do you effectively communicate to people who you are and what you do? Some of you guys know a little bit about my story. I grew up in the Midwest, the United States, in Iowa, in a smaller town in Iowa. And I live in Colorado now because I took my first job here out of college with a big company, the Procter & Gamble Distributing Company. And my first job, ironically, in a brand that I was able to have and represent for 10 years with that company was the Folgers Coffee Company. So I had a little bit of experience in the coffee business prior to OrganoGold. I'm a single dad. I've got a daughter who's a sophomore at Arizona State University. She's going to be doing an overseas program this fall in Barcelona, Spain. So really proud of her, really excited about all the success she's having in college. And it's really, as a lot of you guys know, what drives me to do a lot of the things that I do inside of my business and my life. My work background. I worked, as I mentioned, for Procter & Gamble for a decade, but I've spent the last 20 years in private business inside of the network marketing industry. And for me, it was, pretty simple. I was introduced to the opportunity inside of the profession in a different company over 2 decades ago. And I was open to the opportunity. I was somebody that believed that, even though I liked what I did inside of my job or my career, I believed I could do more. I believe that business ownership was something that made a lot of sense, and being able to create income that wasn't tied to my performance every day, and creating a quality of life that I couldn't have inside of my job were the things that motivated me and made me open. And I can tell you, being open to the opportunity was the first step. And I encourage everybody, as you're talking to people, find out, are they getting everything that they want out of what it is they're doing? Or are they open to doing more? The second thing, I was introduced to the profession really through a great friend. And I think that's where a lot of us today found out about OrganoGold. It was through somebody you liked and trusted and respected, and I think that's important. And the third thing is that because I was open, a good friend was able to introduce me to someone who'd had a lot of success inside of the profession. And it was really those things that allowed me to get started inside of this industry over 20 years ago. And a long story short, I can tell you I started out to be able to create spare time, part-time income. I think that's where a lot of people start. And instead what happened to me is I had a business and a profession that was able to change my life. It allowed me to leave a decade working for a major corporation to be able to launch my own business and expand it literally from a startup to a business that went around the world with that other company. And I was able to retire from that company 9 years ago. And that's what allowed me, to have, some of the perspective on this industry that made me recognize what a great company OrganoGold was. When I was introduced to this business about 15 months ago with myself and a couple of great friends and great partners, Mike Smith and Suzanne Bowman and Stephen Yuko Melanie and John Daniel and more and more of you that we recognized, boy, what a great place for us to be able to relaunch our business career inside of the space. And 15 months later, I can tell you I just couldn't be more pleased with where we're at. Not in terms of necessarily the results, but in terms of the people, in terms of what we've created, in terms of the culture and the systems and the camaraderie that allow us into the future to be able to share some of these things with other people and be able to do some things that are significant. So, as I talk to you about the training topic tonight, telling your story, I told you a little bit about mine. And some of you have heard it, some of you have never met me and don't know a thing about it, but I think what it allows us to do through the ability to share your story with people is how to connect, how to let somebody know a little bit more about you. Okay, a little bit more about where you're from and what you're all about, and really what got you to where you're at today, and how you were introduced to our business, and what got you excited about it. And I think those things are so valuable. I tell people telling your story is probably one of the most important things and one of the first things that I'd really want to get comfortable with. If you're new to the business. And I'm going to share with you a couple of reasons why I think that's so important. Again, as you look at the places that you're going to use your story, it's about everywhere. The two primary places I use mine, number one, if I'm introducing people to OrganoGold, whether it be to my products or if it's to the opportunity, a lot of times it starts with my story. I can tell you it's also something that I share to be able to validate this business opportunity to other people. When I'm on three-way calls or other meetings or on training calls, my ability to be able to share my story with other people has the ability to validate and hopefully get a new person to see maybe something that connects with them, similar to what it is that I have seen. And I can tell you, everybody's story is important. A lot of times, if you can't connect to one person, you're going to connect to someone else. And you're going to say, I may not be able to do exactly what that top person did over there, but boy, I can do what he did or she did or they did. Okay? And I think that, as I talk to you about telling your story, all I'm going to share with you are some tips, some things that I've used, some things that work for me. And I think what's so important in this business is to understand your story means exactly that. It's about you and you telling your story from the heart and how that all works. So, one of the things I'm going to start talking a little bit about is, 3 of the reasons why I think it's so important to understand your story. Okay, and one is that, if I understand my story and I can share with people a little bit more about me, it really allows me to focus on the relationship. And I'm just a huge believer, in my experience in business tells me that people really do business if they have a choice with people they like, with people they trust, with people they respect, with people they have fun with, the people they have common interests with. And so much of me being able to talk to people about my story allows me to share with them, who I am, but it also allows me to find out more about who they are, to kind of determine, where is that fit. Okay. The other thing is, I think it allows people, once they get to know you, to really hone in on some of the things that are important as people are looking, certainly from a business opportunity standpoint. And there's three things I've always seen. One is that people just want to know that you're honest. They want to know that you're the real deal. They want to know that there's no hidden agenda here. You're not trying to pitch them something. Okay, they really want to know that, as you're sharing with them more about your products and opportunity, you're sharing it from the heart. Okay, because that's the other thing people look for. Okay, do you have their best interests at heart, or is this something that you're motivated to do that benefits you? Okay, so people are looking for people that are honest. They're looking for people, that have their best interests at heart. And the third thing is they're looking for people that either are connected, either they know or they're connected to somebody who knows what they're doing. And I think that that's just a really strong place that we're at inside of Ewing Team Organization, inside of OrganoGold, is you're really connected with partners who know what they're doing. So, one of the reasons why my story is important, it allows me to really start to focus on, my relationship with the person I'm talking with. The second thing I like about, you being able to share with people with your story is that it's always right. You don't need to take a class to study or to research what your story is. You're just speaking to people from the heart. It's something that everybody can do. And it needs to be your story. It can't be somebody else's. I mean, if I'm sitting here trying to tell Wendell's story, Wendell, I love your story. It's powerful. But I think if I tried to tell Wendell's story, obviously it wouldn't work for me. Okay? And your story won't work for somebody else. What you've got to do is to make sure that you own your story, that you make it your own, that it's from the heart. And I can tell you the second thing that is important about that is allow you to speak with conviction. And I will tell you what most people, I talked to you a little bit about why people in my business history, do business with other people. But I can also tell you, from my perspective, why people listen to other people. And they listen to people based on, and I call them the ABCs, a lot of times. Just, people that speak with authority, people that speak with belief, and people that speak with conviction. And those are important. I always like the believe, like, and trust part. It's like the BLT sandwich, and the ABCs, authority, belief, and conviction. Those are important ways to be able to communicate your story. Okay, so I can focus on the relationship with people. I can certainly tell them my story because I know it's always going to be right and it's going to be true. And the third thing is it allows me to really connect with what other people need and want, because it gives me the ability, as I get into conversations, if I understand what it is they need and want, to be able to share back with them through maybe my story and something that connected with me, something that may hit home with them. Okay. It may let people know that maybe I found a solution to a problem that I couldn't find inside of my normal work activities or business activities, and maybe they can see the same thing. So let me use a couple of examples to talk about this as I start a conversation, and I use real life stuff. I mean, a couple of days ago, I was at a Kentucky Derby party. And I'm a big believer that, the best places to meet people are places where you like to go and meeting people that you like, doing things you like to do. But I had a friend who had invited me over, and there was going to be a bunch of people at the party that I didn't know. Okay, and so I went over to the party and met some people initially when I came in, and shook their hands and told my name, and over the course of the evening started different conversations with different people. Some that I initiated with people, some that they initiated with me, some that my friend would make introductions to. But one of the things that you find as you start a conversation is the way I always start it, and the way I transition it into my business potentially, or the 4 questions, is it always starts with them. And the first thing I always start talking to people about is I make it about them. I ask them about them. Tell me a little bit about you. Tell me a little bit about where you're from. Tell me a little bit about what you like to do. 4 areas I think that are always easy to get into conversations about with people. Our family. Where are you from, and where's your family from, or what's your family do today? But family's an easy one to have conversations about. Having fun. What do you like to do for fun? For hobbies or sports or all those types of things. They're easy conversations to get into, very non-threatening conversations. Work. What do you do? Okay. Do you like your job? Do you hate your job? Do you like your business? How are things going? How have things gone in the past? How are things looking into the future? Work's an easy one to talk about. And travel. Travel's one I always like to kind of talk about, because it's interesting when you talk to people about traveling and things that maybe you've done or things that you're excited about. It also gives you a common place to connect. And the real reason, again, that I'm starting the conversations about them is if it's somebody I don't know, it allows me to have a way to connect, to find something in common. I have people ask me all the time, man, I'm getting ready to go to this party and I want to talk to people about my OG business. What should I say? I'd say, what do you normally say when you go to a party? Hi, I'm Rance. Nice to meet you. Okay, Sally, good to meet you. What do you do, Sally? Where are you from? Okay, what do you like to do? And I can tell you, as I talk to people, and we've all been there at a party, right? If you don't really connect or hit it off, or don't feel a good vibe, what do? You move on. We've all been there at a party, say, God, love talking to you, gotta go, gotta meet some friends right over here, get back with you in just a minute. Okay, but it's an easy way, at least in the first portion of the conversation, to find out if there's anything in common. But if there is something in common with people, isn't it normally around something like family or work or hobbies or travel? See, that's the reason why I'm talking to people and asking them about themselves, because I'm trying to find out if they've got like-mindedness with me and things in common. And really, the second piece is what they potentially need or want inside of their life. I mean, I think it's so important, as you engage in conversation with people prior to telling them about what it is that you do, that you help them, that you listen to what it is that they do. And this is a really hard one for a lot of people, okay? But you've got to not only ask questions, but you've got to listen to the answers. You've got to listen to what it is that people tell you. Because people will tell you everything you need to know if you'll just ask the right questions and listen. And so, as I've had this conversation, I'm talking to different people. I was talking to a couple, and she's originally from Russia, and he's from Chicago, and we were talking about common friends and common interests and things that we like to do. And by the time we finally got to a place where they ran out of all the things that they were talking about, guess what they asked me? What do you do? And I always tell people, and mentally it just helps to bring clarity for me. My friend Mark McDonald talks about that, bringing clarity to the process. But for me, I always look for a place where I can transition from what it is that they do to what it is that I do. Okay? And when that happens, I'm always, very quick to keep, my answer about what I do very, very short. I'm in the coffee business. It could be as short as that. I'm in the coffee and tea business. I work with an international gourmet coffee company. We sell healthy coffee online all over the world. Depending on my situation is going to determine how much I'm going to say. And the second piece is I talk to people about what it is that I do. I'll start out with that statement to kind of respond to see whether they're listening to me, to see if they have any interest in what it is that I'm talking about. Okay? And as I start to develop a little bit of a dialogue and a stronger relationship, it's easy for me to be able to move into the 4 questions where I'm able to say, I work with an international gourmet coffee company. We started it about 15 months ago. We sell healthy coffee online all over the world. A lot of you guys know that's my story. And I like to say that because it sounds like something that someone would say, wow, that sounds really interesting. Okay? And so as I use that transition statement, whatever it is, my question immediately goes to the first question of the 4 questions, which is, I'm in the coffee business. Do you drink coffee? Yeah, I love to drink coffee. I'm a huge coffee drinker. This girl started to tell me I drink Vietnamese coffee. Wow, okay. So it gives us the ability to start going down the coffee path. And then I'll ask people based on where I'm at in the process, the second, the third, maybe the 4th questions, but I'll share this with you. I don't always use all 4 questions rapid fire, one after the other. I'm always judging based on how the relationship is at the time, when and where I'm going to go next. There's a lot of times I've told people, you know, I'm in the coffee business and I may never get in that conversation an opportunity to move forward, but I'll set up another time where I can, okay, based on the relationship, the connection. So as I go through the process, I mean, don't always use every question if it's not the right timing, okay? And the other thing I would tell you is that there's times where you can immediately move to the opportunity based on where the relationship is at, okay? So there's times where I may not use all 4 questions, and there's times where I'll use the 4 questions and immediately go on to the opportunity, okay? So, how do you like your coffee? You know, or you drink coffee? Do you like it black with cream and sugar? Do you have a favorite brand? Okay, wow, I like that brand too. When was the last time they paid you to drink their coffee? Never. Me either. That's why I got into the coffee business. And then I've got a choice to be able to go down that path with my story, and a lot of this is, you know, what it is that you're doing right now, and I'm just going to help you with some, you know, transition ideas. But if they're open to the opportunity, if I'm able to say I'm really excited about, you know, our opportunity to get paid in the coffee business, and they say, wow, tell me about that, okay? There's a couple of things that, you know, a process that I like to go through. You know, one is I tell people how I was introduced to the business. You know, I was talking with a great friend of mine who'd been really successful in business, and they were telling me about this coffee business with this company called OrganoGold. I was talking to my brother. I was talking to somebody at work, okay? I tell people, here's how I was introduced to this international gourmet coffee company that's allowed me to start my own home-based business where I can sell literally coffee online all over the world. Okay, how I was introduced. The second thing I talk to people about is what I liked about what I saw, heard, and who I'm working with. Okay, and that means different things to different people. But I think that, you know, as I talk with people, it's easier for the average person to be able to say to somebody, you should listen to what I listened to. You should see what I saw. You should hear what I heard. You should meet who I met. I do that to this day with people. When people say, Rance, how did you find out about this coffee business? I said, 15 months ago, I had a good friend of mine that told me I needed to look at this coffee company, and he sent me some information, and I looked at the same video, and in my case, Coffee That Pays, that I'm going to share with you. I want you to see what I saw so you can determine if you see the same thing, okay? I want you to meet who I met. I want you to know who I'm working with, okay? So some of the things that you might say to somebody, you know, what you liked about what you saw. It was internet-based. Everybody drinks coffee. You know, I hear that one a lot. It was good for you. You know, got a friend in Florida. She was talking to a brand new distributor that came into the business and said, you know, all I know that you have coffee with vitamins in it and that you've had success in your business life. Wow, what a simple story. Anybody can tell that, right? Working with successful people. I mean, look at some of the people that you have the opportunity to work with today inside of your organizations. I mean, they're successful. Look at some of the people you have the ability to partner up with inside of OrganoGold. whether it be Holton Buggs or Shane Moran or, one of the, 40 plus people in our business who've earned 7-figure annual incomes. My God, what kind of a person wouldn't want to work with people that have had that kind of success? I could start it on a part-time basis. That might be really important to somebody, okay? From a time standpoint, I could actually do this. It didn't cost much for me to start my business. That's another one people like to use. I get paid really well. This business can pay me more than I can earn at what it is that I do. See, you got to recognize that, whatever it is you liked about what you saw, it doesn't make any difference whether your audience or the person you're talking with, is young or old or, more educated or less educated or more successful or less successful. It's more about connecting to what it is that you saw. I mean, that's a big deal, okay? And as you continue to be able to tell people a little bit about that, how you're introduced, what you liked about what you saw and who you're working with, the third thing is I'm very specific about what I want them to do next. Hey, here's what I'd love to have you do. Come with me. Some of the people that I got an opportunity to meet are hosting a private event at their home tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Can you come? I've got some friends of mine, they're doing a private little coffee and bagel reception over at their office tomorrow morning, around 8 a.m. Can you come? Okay? Or if there are people that are out of state or out of the country, a lot of times I'll share with them the same way I saw the information. That was online. Hey, here's what I want to be able to do. I want to send you over some information. I want you to be able to take a look at it, okay? And we can talk again after you've had a chance to do that. And I'm very specific about the date and times. What I want them to do, I want to tie it. Hey, it's going to be tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Let's meet, at the local grocery store parking lot or restaurant parking lot so we can drive over together, okay? So we can take one car. I've got some time open tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to send you this information. Can you look at it tonight? Can you look at it tomorrow morning? Can I set a time with you tomorrow about 1 o'clock? I'm going to have, about 30 minutes that I can talk to you then. Can we set that up on the calendar right now? I schedule my week out based on a calendar, okay? So as you start taking a look at, all I've shared with you tonight is it's pretty simple stuff. It's being able to share with people your story. It's being able to share with people, what's important, to you, and how to become more effective, and really, what I would leave you in closing with tonight is we're getting ready to launch what I think is going to be one of the most successful months we've had since we've started in this business, the month of May. We're on the first Monday, okay, of the first week of the first of May. And I will tell you, if you don't have your story perfected or you're not comfortable with it, find a partner, share it with somebody else, your upline or somebody you can connect with, and really get your story down. Get comfortable with your story, because it's like anything, the more comfortable you are, the more you're going to want to share it with others. With that, we're finished for tonight. I'm signing off, and I look forward to seeing all of you in the near future. Take care.